Hello, everyone, and welcome to Speaking and Speech with Kiki. Last class, we talked about visuals. We talked about how using them can organize your information and it can generate interest. Today, we're going to talk about anecdotes. An anecdote is a short personal story that's supposed to get a message to the listener. Anecdotes are not told about famous people or people you're not connected to. You have to have a personal connection to be able to tell this anecdote. Otherwise, it's a story you made up. The difference between an anecdote and a story is that an anecdote happened, and it happened usually to you, and a story is more elaborate and flowery. When you're watching this, if you're not in business, this is about telling a story, your anecdote that will bring you closer to the person you're talking to. If you are in business, you should learn how to tell an anecdote because it's a great way to personalize your presentation. You go on the stage to get information across to your audience, and being able to tell a personal story is a great way to get that information across to the audience. The audience is sitting there going, why should I care about what you're saying? I mean, they're there because they have to be there, but in general, we're all sitting there thinking to ourselves, why should I be paying attention to what you're saying? I'm a busy person, I've got things to do. So the same thing is true for anyone telling a story. We have to have a reason for telling it. When you are telling an anecdote, you're in a conversation with someone or it's part of your presentation and you're trying to give a message that's personalized to you. And an anecdote is not interesting if it has everything to do with your very fast car and how great your life is. An anecdote is interesting to people when it's about struggle. There was a conflict, there was a challenge you had to overcome, because we all struggle and we all have challenges. We're all interested in learning about how to overcome those things. Think about the TED Talks. TED Talks have thousands and thousands of people standing up there and telling their experience. It can be a success story, but it always gives the detail of how the struggle and the journey was to get to that point. And your anecdote has to have a clear ending. So it can't just go on and on forever. Let me give you a visual of all of that. There it is. Why should the listener care? A personal connection, a struggle, and a clear ending. You can use anecdotes to introduce your topic. For example, if you tell a story about how you woke up one day and found yourself with zero money in your bank account, it's a great introduction to a presentation about how we need to save money at our company. The reason to learn how to do this and practice doing this is because a personal story, a struggle, a decision, things that impact your life, those are the things that change the way you speak from not confident and non-native to a much higher level. If you're able to tell a story, an anecdote, something that happened to you in an emotional way, and be open about that information that is not that easy to talk about, it's embarrassing or it's a little private, then you're able to connect with your audience in a way that other people aren't. That's a huge benefit. To be able to connect to your audience on a personal level gives them access to you because you've given them something personal, but it also gives you access to them. They are now listening. If you're in the business world, then you also have to learn the storytelling art. not just anecdotes. Anecdotes are great for introducing a subject. If you're in the advertisement business, then you talk about an experience you've had with advertisement where you were actually surprised, like actually surprised by an advertisement you saw. Then you go on to explain, that's why we should do this and this and this. From my personal experience to my opinion as to what we should do. To be able to make a great presentation and a great story, you should really build both in a similar fashion. This chart here, and that is the 5 acts. When you think about all the movies you've watched, all the books that you've read, you can really break down anything into these 5 acts. The same thing should be true for your presentation in general. You should have an introduction. That introduction should be stimulating because, let's face it, the beginning and the end is what people remember, okay? Let's just put it out there. Have a great beginning, have a great closing, because those are the things that really stand out in people's minds. The reason to make Act 2, Act 3, and Act 4 is because they're the drama. And that drama can really inspire people to change the way they think. Most people will remember the beginning and the end, but if your presentation is really good, like a story, it's going to blow their minds. In the homework section, I'm going to have an anecdote sheet. I would love you to tell me an anecdote. If you don't want to practice an anecdote, just tell the story, a childhood story. I want you to tell the story in a video like this one. Think about your own culture. Think about stories that your grandparents told you. Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, any one of those stories. When you tell the childhood story, try to break it up into an introduction of the characters. That's going to be your Act 1. What was the first complication? What was the turning point? What was the reversal? And what was the closing act? Usually they live happily ever after. You can even add something to that story. You can add details. You can practice your vocabulary, practice speaking for a longer period of time. Give yourself 5 minutes. You can do it. It's 5 acts, 5 minutes. If it's not enough, make it longer. I'm listening. In the comment section below, please make a video. You can tell an anecdote, tell a story, a folklore, children's story. Yeah, just make sure you have 5 acts. Or alternatively, you can practice a presentation that you've already given or that you need to give in the future. Try to use an anecdote in your introduction. I'm here for you. I can give you comments. If you don't want comments, just send the link and say, no comments needed. That's fine too. I will watch it just to watch it. Keep trying, make mistakes, and keep going. I'll see you next time.